We know Nikon makes some top quality, top level optics. The 35mm f1.4 AFS is pH fat and F fat. If you wanted a more compact Nikon 35mm before, the noisy autofocusing 35mm f2 AFD, way back you had the 35mm AI f2.8, later on the 35mm AIS f2 and the 35mm AIS Kaiser Soze, perhaps. Old lenses, however, but Nikon has introduced a modern solution, the 35mm f1.8 AFS. And Nikon have done a great job of making a lightweight lens. In my opinion, perhaps a little bit too lightweight, which is why I've balanced it with a body like this, the D4S. Feels much better in the hand. The reason why this is so lightweight is because everything is plastic. The filter thread, the barrel, well, this is rubber, glass obviously, and luckily the actual mount is metal, but it feels pretty flimsy. But you want a lightweight 35, so here it is. For the weight watchers out there, this means their weighs in at just a little over 300 grams. And before this you only had the 35mm f2 AFD, which was noisy and not particularly fast at focusing quick enough. But this is AFS, quick and silent, in theory. One thing to make clear first is that this lens is for FX. Nikon has a 35 1.8 for DX2 with a very similar name. One of the market sellers said, fancy seeing a lovely pair? They didn't realise it's actually fruit. It certainly fulfills the silent part of the focusing, and it is quick too. Oh, there's a friend. There's a potential friend who's using a... not my friend actually. He's using a D610 with a battery grip. Go Nikon! I have to say, when shooting at f2.8, f2.5, you still retain a good level of sharpness in the centre portions. This is great news because no longer do you have to have the AFD, which kind of sound like a robotic, flatulent wind chime. This sound of silence. I feel like I'm in the game show, conveyor belts on the prize, or maybe they're the prize. That's one safe way of keeping your helmet. A brilliant way of solving Hong Kong's lack of living space problem, to use aircon units as a shelf. This does, however, go a little bit faster than the old AFD, f1.8. Have that. So yeah, not really fast, but not a slow lens by any means, in the useful 35mm focal length, which I apparently find amusing. Well, the 35mm focal length makes a great general purpose lens, prime fixed focal length, due to its versatility. Versatility in the sense that you don't need anything else longer or shorter than that. We've already given you 5 reasons for that. Well, also 5 reasons for a 50, and 5 reasons for an 85, and 5 reasons for an ultra wide angle. So it's not necessarily the perfect focal length, but for some people it is. And I have a good feeling about this. This is one of those lenses that you'd love to carry around for the whole day if you're traveling, whatever, because of its lightweight compactness, relatively. It's not as compact as the 35 f2 AFD. You know, this Hong Kong is bound to be somebody coming down, holding something on top of the head, which is going to make this sort of, it's going to be funny, isn't it? It's a funny photo. Oh, here you go, there's somebody with something on his shoulder, which is close to your head, for most people. And they're going that way, okay, great. Yeah. Or why don't people take stairs anymore? I mean, steps. Yes. Anyway, distortion is low. Image quality is unsurprisingly sharp and contrasty at moderate apertures. But what about wide open performance? Oh, you know how it is. You spot a newspaper builder left laying around and see a coupon you want and take it. Hope the article on the flip side wasn't interesting.
Extreme couponing. I've seen it on cable. But there is one thing. It's not exactly the perfect performer wide open. Welcome to the house of Kaiman Wong. It's not really my house, but it's got my name on it. Oh yeah, and the house of social media for Kaiman Wong is twitter.com/Kaiman Wong, KaimanWong for a plug. And and Kai Wong digital. I can't remember my Facebook. There is an incredible amount of vignetting on this f1.8. Colour fringing too, and let's be perfectly honest, the bokeh, it's not really that creamy smooth. It's like lumpy fondue.
Look, at f1.8 you still get good enough sharpness, so it's okay if you don't mind the vignetting and fringing, but the bokeh is pretty bad in some examples.
Of course you could excuse this lens for being cheap, so therefore it doesn't have the best performance wide open, but the thing is it's not cheap.
It's around $600 and super expensive, conversion rate defying in the UK at around 500 quid.
But really, if you're bokeh hua, then you just go for the 35 1.4, which is pretty decent.
Overall, this is a pleasing lens. It's pleasingly lightweight, performs great, and image quality is decent. The only main issues that one could possibly have with this lens are the vignetting and slightly garish bokeh. It's not as sexy as the f1.4, but this is one of those understated performers. It's a lens that proves to be more than decent for a lot of applications. For FX, if you're only shooting DX, you'd be better off going for the cheaper DX version.